Hey everybody, I'm Jim, the Monday Man. Today I'm going to tell you about a relatively new column in Monday called the item ID. Now, if you already know this column exists, great. But there's also an even newer feature in that, the ability to get the URL for an item or a sub-item. So let's take a look. All right, so here I am in a board that I use sometimes to test different things. And you can see up here the URL and the address line shows the board ID. And if I click on an item, I can see now the Pulse ID or the item ID that I've activated. And if I click on a sub item, the board changes and the item ID changes as well. You can come in here if you needed the item ID or the sub item ID, we can select that and copy it, and that works. An easier way is to come in here and add a new column and just type in ID, and it brings up this list, and we click on add item ID. So now if I expand that a little bit, so I can see here's the item ID. And if I click up here, I can see that that's the same. And if I click on it, I get it copied immediately. And we can paste that here just for clarity and see that it includes the item ID. So that's a real easy way to get access to it. And we can do exactly the same thing on our sub items. So now we have the sub item ID as well. Okay, now a lot of people are beginning to understand that this is available, and that's great. However, few people know this. If I change the settings on this column and I customize the column ID, I can select item link instead of item ID. Now, if I do that, it shows exactly the same thing. But when I click on it, it copies it. And if I come over here and paste it, it now has the entire URL for that item or sub item. There's a lot of times when this is very helpful, and just being able to click it and get the item ID is really cool. But a lot of times I actually am in full screen mode when I am looking at a board. So I get more real estate, and then I don't have the visibility of my URL in the address line at all. So this becomes even more helpful in that situation. All right, that's it for today, everybody. Hope you found that helpful. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that and hit the bell icon to be notified of future videos. If there's anything in particular you would like for me to do on the channel, please leave that in the description. Till next time, I'm Jim, the Money Man.